Welcome back to the show. Check this out. U.S. Treasury targeting USDTether. We've talked about this, but we got something for you today. And how about the real USD launch and Cardano? And how about double-digit XRP? How about somebody roll that beautiful intro?
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, look at this. $3.82 trillion market cap for cryptocurrency. Very close to $4 trillion now, and we're off by 2.1%. Bitcoin 99,800 plus, almost back to 100,000 again. 3,900 plus for Ethereum. Number 3 spot, XRP holding strong here. $2.44. We're off 3.1 in the 24. We're up 0.2 in the 7-day. 139.2 billion plus market cap. USDTether, still don't know how the U.S. government feels about it? Well, you're going to learn a little something about that today. Tether is sitting at 137 billion plus market cap. And I want you to think of this when we get into this. XRP has a larger market cap than USDTether. Remember that. That'll become important in the conversation in just a few moments. Range of price between 236 on the bottom and 264 on the top. Currently sitting at 243. Some technical analysts have pointed out that a retracement right now is exactly what the doctor ordered in order for us to continue that upward momentum in the market. So we are in that moment right now. Let's see how far it goes. Looking at this is linked to private equity investing. It is the best platform to do so in the world. Don't believe me? Click the link below the video and find out for yourself. I have to remind you that this is the opportunity of a lifetime because you're investing in the brick and mortar, the picks and shovels that are behind all this amazing technology. What kind of technology? All kinds of technology. Blockchain, digital assets, AI, artificial intelligence. You name it, it's on this platform. And the choices to choose from are remarkable. But there is one hang up. The stuff doesn't last long. So everybody understands just how important it is to take a position in private equity. And that's why it goes so quickly on the platform. Do what the other 1.2 million registered users do and sign up with the link below this video and get started. It takes less than 3 or 4 minutes to sign up, register, and fund your account. That's how streamlined it is. And take advantage of the most affordable minimums in the actual private equity space. Click the sponsor link below and get started today. And come meet them in person at XRP Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, and the tickets are flying off the shelf. Click the link right here and buy your discounted room link right there as well, built into the price. We're looking out for you, and it's great room rates, and they are selling fast, and the price will not stay here for long. So make sure you get your ticket before the early bird special runs out. It's going to be a remarkable, remarkable event. Let's start here. Tranglo, Ripple partner, announcing Ant International joins SWIFT community initiative to enhance cross-border payment interoperability. Well, shout out to my Vegas fam out there. Yeah, Ivan and Ashley sent this on over. You guys are amazing. Hope you're doing well. And this is what we got here. Ant International has joined SWIFT's Network Interoperability Reference Implementation Program, a pre-pilot initiative designed to improve cross-border payments. Now, we don't have any direct connection to Ant International, to Ripple, but we know that Tranglo works indirectly with subsidiaries thereof under the Ant group. So watch out for more. And what I see largely here in the macro is simply this. I see SWIFT attaching all of these legacy companies around the world to their payment system to improve cross-border payments. This is not going back the other way. We love seeing it. Here's another report here from Ratha Kahneman highlighting that Ripple partner SBI Holdings, shout out to Yoshitaka Katao, notes JVs with Ripple. Nothing new here, but a cool mention of XRP Ledger NFTs to be issued at World Expo in 2025, where it will be hosted. Now look at this. You can see SBI Group here, it says invested in Ripple Labs in 2016, largest external shareholder, which develops international remittance technology utilizing crypto assets, market capitalization. And then it says here, jointly established with SBI Ripple Asia. It goes on here to say Japan's first international remittance service using XRP as a bridge currency from 2021. And SBI Group will also provide NFTs issued on the XRP ledger at Osaka and Kansai Expo. How about that? This is the kind of stuff that just gets me super excited because, again, we're not going back the other way, and it's only going to get better when they launch the real USD, which is imminent. Look at this. Breaking Iran to embrace digital assets, Bitcoin, with regulatory framework instead of banning them, says the Minister of Economic Affairs. This is what's happening. And then hear this from BRICS. 6 reasons how Trump tariffs on BRICS nations could lead to de-dollarization. Retaliation and diversification. Tariffs might provoke BRICS countries to reduce dollar usage in trade, encouraging the use of alternative currencies or systems to avoid U.S. economic pressure. 2, strengthening non-dollar trade. More bilateral deals in local currencies could emerge as a strategy to bypass dollar-based trade, reducing reliance on the dollar, and that's already begun. Number 3, dollar as political tool. Viewing the dollar as a weapon could motivate BRICS to seek financial independence from U.S. economic policies, accelerating de-dollarization efforts. I believe this is why he's looking to impose high tariffs or match a tariff from another country, is because he's basically saying, if you continue to use our dollar, I won't hit you with the tariffs. That's called negotiations, right? So let's keep going. And then here, number 4, new financial system. Fear of the U.S. sanctions might speed up the creation of alternative payment systems. Well, BRICS already has one. Reducing the need for dollar transactions. Loss of confidence. Tariff-induced economic instability could decrease global trust in the dollar, encouraging investors to look elsewhere. Number 6, strategic shift. Long-term, BRICS might see de-dollarization as a geopolitical necessity, leading to a slow but steady move away from the dollar in reserves and trade. Conclusion, the effectiveness of these actions in leading to significant de-dollarization would depend on numerous factors, including the actual implementation of tariffs, the global economic environment, and the cohesion among BRICS nations in pursuing these alternatives. And I think there's a lot to take away from this right here. Look, again, I see the tariffs as a tool for negotiating. And the first rule of negotiating is you keep using the US dollar and I won't hit you with these massive tariffs. These countries don't want to get hit with these tariffs. So now they're faced with, okay, are you going to continue to walk towards de-dollarizing and then face the tariffs in light of that? Or are you going to back off and say, hey, you can work on your own payment system, but don't ditch the dollar? And I think that's where we're going to end up ultimately at the end of the day. We'll see. Here is an important clip with the new recently appointed David Sachs. And the point here is a quantum black swan will break the encryption of Bitcoin is basically, I think, what they're suggesting here. However, there is a conversation, and I want to get to the time markers on this. The whole thing's very good, but I want to get to the time markers pertinent to the conversation for us today. So let me open that up right now. And I want to start right here. And yeah, that'll work. Let's listen to David Sachs, the new cryptos are.
There's a huge risk of currency debasement when the government is in control, and particularly when you have the world's reserve currency. There's just such an enormous temptation to print money to finance your budget and to rack up loans that become unpayable. We're at what, like 130% of GDP now we owe. So we owe an amount of money greater than the size of our entire economy or our economic output. That sounds very hard to repay to me. Mm-hmm. So the temptation will eventually be to monetize the debt away, basically to debase the currency to pay for this debt. That's always been a risk throughout history. And now what Bitcoin offers is a different kind of currency where it's not backed by a government, it's backed by math, it's backed by encryption. And so you don't have to trust the government that there will only be 21 million Bitcoin. It's in the code. And so you just have to trust that Bitcoin effectively won't be cracked. You know, you just have to believe that the system is secure. And I think,
Well, let me tell you what else you'd have to believe too. You have to believe that all these deep positions that Wall Street has taken in these ETFs of Bitcoin, and they're not going to manipulate and control the price of it. You'd have to believe that too, right?
a lot of people might over time gradually think that's a better form of money.
Two other questions around Bitcoin. I guess one is like, do you think it could rise to become the global reserve currency? And whether that's, 50, 100, even 500 years from now, like, is the expectation that there would be decentralized money as the core unit of account and kind of store value globally? Or do you think that we'll just get more and more fragmentation and there'll be fiat currencies, there'll be decentralized, currency like Bitcoin? Maybe there's even these private currencies that some of these companies have tried to create. Like, how do you think this plays out?
Really quickly before he answers, we all, no matter what you believe, better not want that dollar to collapse, because if it does, your life, your children's lives will never be the same for a very long time.
It's hard to know. I mean, Balaji's got this framework where there's basically only three currencies that have scale. One is the USD, sort of the USD American empire. Then there's China, the renminbi, and then there's Bitcoin in the sort of crypto world. And he thinks those are the only three currencies that can get to sufficient scale to be some sort of world reserve currency. I don't know what happens. I mean, I think the question is, can you get to something where Bitcoin is widely used without there being like basically a US dollar collapse or something catastrophic happening? Mm-hmm. I don't know the answer to that. I think there are sort of middle scenarios where, if you were in a country that had that with like a totalitarian government or something like that, or had export controls, or was extremely repressive, or was being invaded, going through a war, you'd want to move as much of your net worth into Bitcoin as you could, despite the price volatility, because it's portable. You could take it with you. So in that, it's the new diamonds, it's the new gold bars, whatever. So there's sort of that store value argument, even short of it being a fiat currency. But I think it's interesting. It's what we're talking about. I didn't coin this phrase, but the separation of money and state. Mm-hmm. And if that happens, that would be as big an event as the separation of church and state. The church and state used to be intrinsically linked and combined. You couldn't really think about the two without them being together. Now we think about them being separate. I think money and state is kind of like that. We can't really think of money without the state, but Bitcoin, it's sort of this like sci-fi future where you could maybe have these two things decoupled. I don't know how long that takes.
Well, listen, let me jump in right there. And again, it's a great conversation. But look, we know that this is the new crypto czar. And he doesn't have to have it all figured out, but he's got the open mindset to know that we're in a moment of expansion when it comes to money right now. Just like before the days of the Fed, when the Fed was created. Before then, there were a lot of people making their own currency. Companies did it, right? So we are back in a moment like that. And the question is are we going to get the regulatory framework, and I believe that we will, that will bring things into play where the dollar is not at risk, but other forms of money and commodities are allowed to exist in our system. Here we see Cristian Carlo. Shout out to him. He's going to be on stage. XRP Las Vegas. Get your tickets. Former Trump CFTC chair is on discussing how the new administration is going to move crypto forward in a positive way for the U.S. He brings up the Treasury report on crypto, calling it the best investment to be in, and digital gold. And that's what we covered in the earlier video over the weekend, is the Treasury referring to Bitcoin as digital gold now. That's what's going on. And then there's this. How about talking about ETF products? Take a listen to this clip from Brad Garlinghouse.
What are your thoughts on the Bitcoin's ETF approval and its future role in the monetary system?
So I think it is an interesting one. We've obviously seen a bunch of traditional financial firms file for spot Bitcoin ETFs. And finally, the United States SEC seems to be, after years of kind of dragging their feet, seems to be allowing those to move forward. I'm not sure, part of the question here is this idea that are they part of the future monetary system? I mean, to me, a Bitcoin ETF is simply allowing people who may not know how to custody, buy, manage their crypto themselves to participate in Bitcoin as an asset. It's a little like a gold ETF. You may not want to hold gold in your home, but being able to buy a gold ETF allows you investment exposure to that asset. And so I'm very much pro giving people access to these things in a way that works for them. And so I don't know why that would be bad and why the SEC was blocking that. Whether or not that has a role in the future monetary system, as much as I'm bullish about Bitcoin and I own Bitcoin,
Listen,
Bitcoin has some significant limitations as it relates to a payments mechanism in terms of fees and speed. And so I'm not sure I see that as a transforming the monetary system.
but that doesn't mean, to his point, that they couldn't combine these ideas, strategic reserve bill or stockpile reserve bill, and add Bitcoin in a basket of digital assets along with XRP and other assets, right? Because isn't a basket of assets better? I mean, look, they used to back the dollar by gold. Well, it didn't work because gold alone wasn't enough, right? Then they went to the petrodollar agreement. Well, where's the weakness there? The weakness there is that these countries decide to ditch the dollar, they can harm us. So what can we set up to make sure that none of these things would happen again? And I think the best thing to do is to introduce a basket of assets, commodities, dollars from around the world, sovereign money, bonds, real estate, oil, and represent that basket with an XRP token and then underpin the dollar with it. Don't believe it. I think it's still true. Look at this. And when will we see a BlackRock ETF?
Will you do another ETF? How about an XRP ETF? I know you got Ether out there. How about XRP? Can you answer that?
I can't.
How about XRP? Can you answer that? I can't.
Are you in talks with the largest issuers, particularly BlackRock, to get this done?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. I know BlackRock has said some things publicly. We think it makes sense for the XRP community overall.
There you have it right there. We don't even have ETFs for XRP broadly yet. Now, we've had applications submitted. Shout out to Canary and shout out to Bitwise and 21 Shares and the rest of them for that. That's going to be exciting, but we haven't even seen the effects of that yet. Think of it for a moment. This is a great post here. Digital G here says, as a former regulated fund manager based in the city of London, I will concede that investing in XRP, XLM, and XDC is currently the greatest opportunity for gaining generational wealth than any other investment opportunities I've ever encountered in my entire lengthy career. Wow, not financial advice, but I love hearing his perspective on it. Linda P. Jones says, I agree with this statement so much. I wrote a book about them and the life-changing wealth-building opportunity, and it's a great book, and you should read it if you haven't got it. And then here we have Charles Hoskinson from Cardano. Yes, take a listen to what he says about Circle and Tether, and then we're going to find out what the U.S. government says about Tether.
We started reaching out to other big parts of the industry and kind of fixing ties or making new ties. Can you kind of tell me more about that? Like what is the partnership or person that you've reached out to that you had the most exciting conversation with recently?
Well, I'd say most recently David Schwartz and also Brad Garlinghouse from the XRP community. We've had our differences in the past. You might have noticed that from time to time. But we just said, this is stupid, let's bury this hatchet. And we had a very productive, good conversation about our role, XRP's role, where the ecosystem is going, and potential collaboration points that we could work together on. In particular, it'd be very interesting to see if we can include XRP in Midnight's story. And there's some Cardano-related technology that could benefit XRP tremendously, like Marlowe, for example, which never really got the right product market fit with the Cardano ecosystem, but for fixed function ledger like Ripple for XRP, it makes a lot of sense to pursue something like that. So there were some technical discussions and some business discussions, and we also wish them well on RLUSD. That's a major win for the XRP ecosystem. Yeah. Circle and Tether, they kind of have a cartel, and together they control like 71% of all the economic activity on Ethereum, and the people that they bless do very well, and the people that they exclude harshly. And that's what happens when an oligarchy forms. And so it's really important that, new stable coins that are in that have a lot of traction and momentum behind them, you kind of support that so it prevents one actor from gaining too much influence over the market, and the market can stay competitive. So I really want RLUSD not only to succeed on XRP, but I'd like to see it become a multi-chain asset, go across the entire ecosystem, and it'd be a lot of fun to see if we can bring it to Cardano. So that was another part of the discussions.
Yes, and just to be full clarity here, there was no bury the hatchet, right? There was no beef. I love when people do this. There was simply Charles attacking all of us, and I'm glad that he has stopped. But he doesn't get to reframe what actually took place. No one attacked him until Charles started calling everybody grand conspiracists. But we also know for a fact that Charles absolutely was aware that Wanzhang CCP China was backing the Ethereum network at his time there at the Ethereum Alliance. So get some of that. But I hope we can get the networks working together. But they got to make clarity. We got to have clarity. We can't pretend that stuff didn't happen. Then we have this. I love his thought on this, says Craven for America, honest about what Tether and Circle actually are, right? Exciting if they bring real USD on board Cardano. The landscape of crypto is hurriedly changing, and I'm here for all of it, and so am I. And I have to say, this is getting exciting because look at what the Treasury Department's FSOC says stable coins represent potential risk to U.S. financial stability. Now, here we go. For years on this channel, and if you've been with me for a long time, as soon as I read the headline with FSOC in it, you're like, uh-oh, here he goes again, right? Look, some days you got to make the video. This is it. I say in 3, 2, 1, USDTether. We know what's coming. U.S. Treasury Department Financial Stability Oversight Council, FSOC, says the role of stablecoins as a bridge between digital asset market and the broader financial system warrants continued attention. Keep listening. In its 2024 annual report, the FSOC says the stablecoins, commodity, or currency-pegged cryptocurrencies do not have adequate safeguards against risks and failures. As the council has stated over the last several years, stablecoins continue to represent potential risk to financial stability because they are acutely vulnerable to runs absent appropriate risk management standards. It goes on to highlight USDTether now. The FSOC says the lack of precautionary measures becomes more concerning because more than half of the stablecoin sector's total market value is held in a single firm, USDTether issuer Tether, right? USDT's total market cap is approximately $138 billion. Now, remember when I brought that up to you in the front of the video, around 70% of the global stablecoin market, according to FSOC. Now, $138 billion. I'll come back, but I want you to pay attention to this. We're at $139 billion. So the truth is we could back Tether with XRP if it was turned into the real USD. What if it's captured and they relabel it and shove all the bonds into RLUSD and now it's actually RLUSD and it'll be highly compliant? What if they just say it's not and they start shutting it down and push it out of the market the way the EU has done? And then all the treasuries are going to push into compliant stable coins like the real USD and USDC. Think of this for a moment. But more importantly, what's important here is to understand that XRP has reached a market cap larger than the largest stable coin in the digital asset market. And if they needed to, they could underpin Tether and guarantee the peg on it. So why not just white label it, put it on the XRP ledger, and be done with it? Given the firm's market dominance, if it continues to grow, its failure could disrupt the crypto asset market, create knock-on effects for the traditional financial system. The council says many stablecoin issues are also operating outside the prudential regulatory framework, which increases the risk of fraud. But listen, out of this whole thing, what are we hearing? Tether is the one that's being cited as a problem by the U.S. Treasury's Department of FSOC. Listen, if you're not aware, very quickly here, FSOC is a combination of prudential regulators and market regulators. So it is a combination of the SEC, the CFTC, right? The OCC, the FDIC, the Federal Reserve, and other prudential regulators, the Treasury, right? So This is not a laugh at you panel, okay? This is a group that is going to deal with USDTether. That's why this just came out. Now let's talk about market cap real quick. This is a great breakdown of why market cap means nothing for XRP and other digital assets that have utility. Come on in.
All right, so we have to have this conversation about XRP since it is trending all over the place. It has skyrocketed like 400% in the last 30 days, and everyone wants to know how high can this cryptocurrency go? And one of the factors that people talk about in its limited ability to climb in price is market cap. If you don't know what market cap is in cryptocurrency, it basically is the total number of supply of coins times the current price, and that gives you a market cap number. Well, let me tell you why market cap doesn't matter when it comes to cryptocurrency, and specifically XRP. Because XRP is a commodity, not a security. So market cap is irrelevant. It's like asking what the market cap of oil is. Not the oil companies, but oil itself. No one really knows what the market cap of oil is, and no one even cares. It's like asking what the market cap of green beans would be. No one cares. The value of oil is in its utility and how much supply there is and how much demand there is for that supply. That's it. That's what controls the price. And the same is true for XRP. It's a commodity. The value of XRP is in its utility and in its limited supply. So questions about whether XRP can rise to 1,000 per XRP or 10,000 or 50,000 have nothing to do with market cap. It comes down to what is the utility of XRP, how much supply is there, and how much demand there is for it.
Bingo. This guy's got it right here. Nails it. The best succinct explanation ever on the planet. Very good. Shout out to that guy. And then there's this. Coming back to the chart that was put out just a day or so ago here from Eggrad Crypto, saying the total market cap for cryptocurrency could reach $10 trillion by March of 25. Just 4 months from now. Think of it. And if that happens, where's all this money going? And how much will be captured by Bitcoin? How much will be captured by the real USD? How much will be captured in the XRP market cap? This is getting good. And talk about a fun fact. The gentleman breaking down the market cap was absolutely correct. We had over 443% gain just in November alone for XRP. Now, at the time I wrote this yesterday, it was $2.55. Today it's $2.45. But if we have the same gain happen in December from the current price, which is now $2.44, we'll have a $10.80 XRP. Think of it. Just the same gains that we had 1 month ago, and we could have a double-digit XRP. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. By the way, you can follow us, digperspectives.com. Click the Freedom Zone. It's a great way to support the channel, and it costs next to nothing to do so. And we're super grateful for all of you that do. Hit the like and subscribe. Share with somebody you know. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you on the next one.